What's up, beautiful people of the world? It's your girl Jay, Jalen the Alien, the Zodiac Queen, coming at you with your monthly predictions for June. Oh my gosh, the phone's ringing as I'm recording on my third take. But that's kind of the energy that we're going to experience when we are in the month of June. We're going to experience imbalances, we're going to experience changes, we're going to experience things not necessarily going our way. You know, I'm not trying to be the Debbie Downer, but I'm just saying we are in retrograde season, and then we have Mercury going retrograde, we have Venus going direct, we have 2 eclipses. It's just going to be a lot going on, and not even always on the conscious level, but also on the subconscious level. We're going to be feeling emotions and feelings, and then we're also going to be acting out those emotions and feelings because we got Mars in the picture, and just a lot. It's a lot happening, okay? A lot is happening. A lot needs to be talked about. A lot needs to be said. I'm definitely going to break down a lot of these transits, like for like Mercury retrograde, making a separate video for Mercury retrograde, making a separate video for the lunar eclipses and the solar eclipse. So yeah, but you know, we're gonna get into it. Before we dive in though, I just want to let you guys know I finally dropped my course, Awaken Your Inner Goddess. So if you're ready to focus on yourself and your energy and to learn how to be attractive, not only physically, but obviously energetically, so we can manifest the life that we want, this is the course for you. If you're looking for an intro into the divine feminine spirituality, then this is for you. So check it out in the description box below. But yeah, let's dive right into these readings. You know how it goes. Definitely check out your rising sign first, and then you can check out your moon or your sun sign as well. So yes, let's get right into it. Okay, Aries, the word that I heard when I was meditating on your energy, when I was thinking about your energy for the month of June, I heard the word security and safety. And as I was like shuffling the tarot cards for you guys, I kept on getting like tarot cards that had pentacles. Okay, so much pentacle energy and so much like that type of energy. So that energy is all about stability. It's about trying to find solid ground, and that makes sense when I look at, you know, what's going on for you guys astrologically, because first things first, we have a lot of changes. Like I said, eclipses, retrogrades, it's all happening all at once. June is going to be really interesting. We're gonna get through it together, guys. But with the sun being in your 3rd house for the majority of June, sun is where we're going to be focused. It's where our attention is going to be. It's where the light is shining. With sun being in your 3rd house, expect busyness. I honestly expect a lot of busy energy, expect a lot of traveling here, going here, and maybe not like necessarily traveling far, but driving around your town or going to see your siblings, going to see your sister. A lot of people trying to talk to you, a lot of people trying to communicate with you. We have so much Gemini energy right now. It's so present. People are going to be feeling the need to express themselves and to say a lot of stuff. You want to be careful with that because we do have a Mercury retrograde coming up. It's happening on the 19th. In Cancer, it's going to be happening in your 4th house. So with that being said, you want to definitely make sure that, you know, with Mercury in Cancer, we're going to be speaking from our emotions, and it's not always going to make logical sense. And with this being in your 4th house, you want to make sure that you're being careful when it comes to the things that you say, and you don't get into like heated arguments or debates and stuff like that and say things that you don't necessarily mean, especially when we have Mars in the 12th house currently for you, where it's like you're going to be more prone to really act from this place inside of you that you don't really know, because the 12th house is the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is what's driving everything around us, but we don't actually see it driving. You know what I'm saying? It's our hidden emotions. It's our hidden feelings. It's how we really feel about ourselves. And from that space, that's how we create actions. And that's how we do our conscious actions. So with this energy being present here, like, you guys can have a lot of subconscious feelings and emotions. And it's kind of like that moment where, you know, a lot of things have been building up for a long time, and then somebody does something that irritates you a little bit, and then you just release all hell on them, right? And then you're like, why did I just attack that person? But it had nothing to do with them. It had everything to do with like unhandled emotions, unhandled traumas that you never fully like properly went through. So with Mars in the 12th house, you definitely want to keep that in mind. You know, there could be conflict when it comes to how we feel and our emotions, and expressing that in effective ways. I feel like a lot of us are just gonna start like just going crazy and just kind of like you're gonna be more inclined to just speak your feelings without thinking. Sometimes, you know, for certain situations, that's a good thing, because say you were trapped in a relationship or you're in a situation where a person is disrespecting you all the time, and then you got this transit going on and you finally speak up for yourself and tell that person, I don't want to deal with this anymore. Or especially for you guys, it's probably going to be a family member, because that's what the 4th house represents. But we're going to talk about that more when my Mercury retrograde video does come out. But expect, first things foremost, a lot of energy really being focused around, you know, your 3rd house. So this is really, you know, busybody energy. A lot of communication, a lot of speaking, a lot of talking on social media, a lot of going here to this place, going back home and going here to this place, they're here to that place. A lot of focus on building your skills and education, which would be so great for you to do right now. You want to have as many skills as possible as we are going into this crazy time. Okay, so build your skills this year, because then if you have skills, you're going to be able to profit off of those skills at a later time. But set some seeds and get some skills this year, learn some new things, get some new education going on, you know, and not necessarily school. You can do that, but online like courses could definitely be a thing for you. I just pulled some cards for you. These are the cards I have. We have the 3 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles, King of Wands, and the Tower. First of all, we have the Tower card. This Tower card is really screaming like sudden changes, sudden upheaval, which makes, you know, sense, because we're literally going into eclipse season. We have a lunar eclipse and a solar eclipse. The lunar eclipse is going to be in Sagittarius, and the solar eclipse is going to be in Cancer. The lunar eclipse is on a full moon, you know, and the shadow is basically on the full moon, and we can't see anything, but we're feeling everything. It's like we can't see exactly what's going on, but we feel it. Okay, so there's going to be this thing where we're going to be really emotional, especially towards June 5th, around June 5th. You would definitely want to be like mindful of the actions that you take. I just saw driving, I just saw a car. So make sure we're driving safely and we're like, you know, avoiding accidents and stuff like that. Because like I said, emotions are going to be running high around this time. So you definitely want to keep, you know, be cognizant about, because, you know, 3rd house energy is all about short distance travels. Yes, you're going to be busy, but make sure you're not like, you know, going crazy, doing too much and taking on too much at once. But, you know, with the lunar eclipses, it's really potent for changes and sudden events, sudden upheavals. Things have been simmering up for a while. This is when it's finally going to boil and it's going to overflow. So expect sudden changes to happen. This sudden change has something to do with your 9th house, because that's where the lunar eclipse is going to be. 9th house has everything to do with your belief system, the things that you believe to be true, truth in general. You might have a sudden realization that something that you're a part of is something that you no longer want to be a part of, a new belief system, maybe even like traveling far distance. Like there could be something that comes up where you have to travel across the country or to another country with your education. Maybe you decide, hey, I don't want to go to college, or I do want to go to college, and X, Y, and Z. But just sudden changes and sudden movements, especially in the land of the 9th house. Okay, and then towards the end of the month, that's when we start to pivot towards this Cancer energy. We're gonna have Mercury in Cancer. It's a retrograde, so we have to, you know, get used to this energy of our logical mind, our conscious mind, really being in tune and connected with our emotions. And, you know, this is all about our home and our family, our sense of security, our sense, that's probably why I heard like security and safety as your word, because it literally has everything to do with what makes us feel safe, what makes us feel nurtured, what makes us feel comfortable. So towards the end of the month, after the 20th, that's when we really start to see certain changes and swift changes happening in our sense of comfort, you know. So this could be arguments with our parents, arguments with our family, changes when it comes to our home, changes when it comes to our home environment, arguments with our brothers and our sisters. This has everything to do with, or I wouldn't suggest moving into a new home at this time, especially with Mercury and Cancer in retrograde. You never want to do those things during a retrograde period. You want to wait till it's over. But this is just going to be a thing where you're going to be really introspective and reflective about your home situation. So do you like your house? Do you want to stay at this house? Do you like your family right now? Is the relationship with your family solid or not? We're gonna see, and we're gonna find out with all these eclipses. And if it isn't, the necessary changes are going to be done in your life, whether you like it or not, to actually like align you to where you're supposed to be. Also, with giving all the pentacle energy for you guys, I do see that there is going to be opportunities somehow to make money for you in June 2020. So like I said, with the sun being in the 3rd house, you want to focus on your skills and developing your skills and media and communication. So communicating a lot, that's speaking, that's writing, that's talking, that's social media, anything involving your voice, words, that type of thing, even data analysis, marketing. These are all good things to focus on during this time. And for some reason, with the Pentacles energy, especially with 10 of Pentacles, this indicates like some type of thing involving money, like long-term money. There could be an opportunity that comes towards you at this time that's going to give you the ability to have like long-term success, long-term money coming into your life. So definitely, I just heard ideas. Definitely be on the lookout for an idea. Oh yeah, 3rd house energy, I mean, is Gemini energy. Gemini is a very mental sign. It is all about ideas. There could be some idea coming towards you in the month of June that could actually like be something that's going to be about like long-term wealth, long-term success. So that's always dope. With the 3 of Swords energy, obviously, this is about disappointment. This is about like heartbroken feelings and stuff like that. So that could definitely be a thing that happens here, but just know that anything that does happen this month, it needed to happen. Universe is basically clearing space, and it's asking us to declutter. It's asking us to release, because a lot of us have been holding on to a lot of emotions and going through a lot at this time. So we have to actually release these emotions and deal with our emotions so that we can evolve as human beings and we can be aligned on the right path that we were meant to be on. So this is going to be the Tower moment. This is the destructive force that comes in to, you know, kind of push us to where we need to go. So don't be afraid. Just be open and be more aware that your feelings can be coming from places that you don't even know where it came from. So the more that you spend time in meditation, the more that you spend time in isolation meditation and have those times to relax, this is going to benefit you, and to make sure that we are balanced during these really hectic times that we are going in and towards. But like I said, we have that millionaire conjunction. We have all this pentacle energy for you guys. There is an opportunity here for massive wealth to be made through a long period of time. So stay in tune with your ideas and your mind, because we still are in Gemini energy, which is all about ideas, right? So definitely stay curious, but also be mindful. And that is the reading I have for you guys, Aries, June 2020. Like this video up, it helps me so much. Like legit, like literally YouTube has been killing it recently. Like, you know what I'm saying? I could use the support. So thank you so much. And yes, have a great day. Okay, Taurus, what's up? This is your June reading. Like this video up, so, you know, support your girl. But let's get into it. So, Tauruses, this is going to be very interesting energy that we have going on here. June is not playing with nobody. This is going to be a really transformational month for you guys, okay? After this month, things will not be the same. This represents a starting point, and you want to make sure that you are keeping your feelings in check during this time, because this is very retro. This is the most retrograde heavy month we got going on for a little bit, okay? Because we have all these retrogrades happening currently. We have Mercury going retrograde. Luckily, at the end of the month, Venus is going direct, but let's see what's going on here. So the word that I heard for you guys when I was meditating on your energy, grave. And you know, when we think about graves, we think about death. And that makes sense, because we do have a lunar eclipse happening for you guys in the 8th house. And when I say death, don't get scared. Don't be thinking that you're gonna die or somebody around you's gonna die, because that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. But what is the case though? Something in your life needs to be transformed. Something in your life needs to be let go of, and it's gonna come to the surface probably around the lunar eclipse, which is like in the beginning of the month, June 5th. Something is gonna happen where something comes up and it's like, you know, right there in your face. You gotta deal with the emotions, you gotta deal with the feelings, and things might get a little out of hand. And because of this, then you know exactly what you need to let go of, and you know exactly what you need to do, okay? Because the 8th house asks for transformation. The 8th house asks for sudden changes, good or bad. So at this time, depending on what you've been doing, what you've been up to, there's gonna be some drastic changes that happen. And you know, the full moon has everything to do with culmination. So things coming to fruition. So whatever you have been letting do what it do, or whatever it needs to be done, it's gonna come up and it's gonna manifest around June 5th. So you're gonna see big things happening that are really going to like really bring in that energy of change in your life that you need. Whenever you have a lunar eclipse in the 8th house, transformation needs to happen in your life. Something needs to be transformed, and transformation is good because we're after it. We're gonna be way more aligned and on the path that it's actually gonna fulfill us on a soul level. It's gonna make us happy. So whatever needs to end, let it end. And yeah, it's going to be unexpected. We have the comment card here, and we have the sun currently in your 2nd house. The sun is going to be in your 2nd house, and this is energy that you guys are not that unfamiliar with, because 2nd house is your house. So I honestly see this as a good thing. I see this as you guys know what you have to do to rock this energy. You guys are going to be more focused on securing your bag, making your money, getting all the finances in order, getting yourself in order, getting your values in order, because so the 2nd house has everything to do with self-worth and our sense of self-worth. And with all this retrograde energy happening, we're going to be more reflective than usual about just stuff in general. So I feel like you guys are going to be thinking more about your values. What do you value? What do you find valuable in yourself? What things do you believe in? What is your relationship to your own self-worth? Because if you have a strong self-worth, then that's when naturally abundance is going to flow into your life. But if you're lacking that self-worth, abundance cannot come into your life. Money will not come into your life because you have to feel like you deserve it. So I feel like this is going to be a time where you're going to be dealing with that, and you're going to see either opportunities of new money coming into your life or money leaving your life very suddenly. And then, like I said, we have a Mercury retrograde in Cancer happening in your 3rd house. Guys, oh my gosh, guys, this is going to be really important for you. Do not let your emotions get the best of you. Do not let your emotions get the best of you, especially when we have a Mercury retrograde in the 3rd house in Cancer. Stuff is going to be feeling real watery. We're going to be all in our feelings. Our logical mind is going to be operating from our feelings and our emotional mind. And then we have this in the 3rd house, which is Gemini's house, which is Mercury's house. This has everything to do with communication, speaking, writing, okay? So be careful what you say at this time. Make sure you're actually saying the things that you really want to say to that person. And also, make sure you take the time to pause when you are responding to another, because this is going to be energy that's going to be prone for misunderstandings and miscommunications and things getting out of hand because of those misunderstandings and miscommunications. Also, do not sign contracts. You don't want to sign anything that's going to be super permanent, so stay away from contracts as best as you can during this time. And also, with Mercury in retrograde in your 3rd house, be careful when it comes to your technology, okay? Technology could be going haywire at your time, and it could drive you completely insane and nuts. So save all your work. Save all your work, make sure, the car is all checked up on, your computer is working well, and everything like that. Because with Mercury going retrograde in the 3rd house, technology can definitely mess up at this time. I've seen it, I've lived it. It really can drive you insane. And with Mars being in Pisces in your 11th house, a lot of us are going to be more focused on spirituality and meditation and creativity and just overall this sense of unity. And with everything currently happening, we're gonna see, especially for you guys might feel a little bit more pulled to actually do spiritual based things in groups of people, or just getting involved with groups of people in general. And with the country doing what it's doing right now, a lot of us are going to be feeling like, especially you guys, you're going to be feeling more prone to activism, because the 11th house deals with humanitarianism, groups of people and stuff like that. You guys are going to be the people that are going to be more prone to being influential and speaking out against things at this time, and just really getting involved with groups of people. So that can also be a positive thing if used correctly. Expect unexpected changes. We have comment card, so that's disturbances, significant events, the unknown, wild card, disruption. We have 3rd house energy. You guys are gonna have that Mercury retrograde in your 3rd house, and we're gonna move in the 3rd house as we move into Cancer season for you guys. So this is a lot of times where our emotions are gonna be right there in front of us at all times. We're gonna have direct access to our emotions. A lot of the times, we like to suppress our emotions. We like to pretend like they don't exist. June it's not happening. Our emotions are going to be right there front and center. So with this being said, definitely watch it. Pisces energy, you guys might be feeling more intuitive, more psychic, more connected to, you might just be feeling more spiritual during this time. And also with that being said, more prone to fantasy and escapism. Second house does everything to do with like food and like those type of things as well. So make sure you're, you know, focused on that. This is going to be a really transformative like month for you. A lot of changes, a lot of unexpected things happening. It's going to pop off, but I feel like it's popping off for a good reason. Judgment card. Honestly, judgment has everything to do with like a time in our lives where stuff just like happens. Like, you can't do anything about it. It happens, but it's happening because it's like divine intervention. It needs to happen. There is a call and you feel it and you know it needs to be done. Stuff comes to an end so that there could be these new dynamic, new beginnings in your life. So expect a lot of endings and beginnings, but these are blessed. These were divine, and it's going to actually serve you in the end. You're going to feel more powerful. We have the King of Wands, but then, you know, expect certain points of the month to feel like a burden. It's like with the 10 of Wands, you're pushing and pushing and pushing, and you're not seeing the fruits of your labor. You don't feel satisfied for all the work that you put in. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like this is the change that's happening. These type of situations, 10 of Wands, it's going, it's leaving, it's getting out of here. You gotta go, okay? So, you know, we also have the 4 of Wands here, and there's a lot of Wands energy for you guys. Okay, that's all about action and passion and movement. Yes, swift changes, like a lot of feeling, a lot of emotions. But the 10 of Wands also does indicate, the 4 of Wands does indicate like celebration. So there could be also some celebrations happening for some of you guys during the month of June as well. But overall though, expect the unexpected, go for it. And if you get knocked off balance, just know it's meant to help you in the long run. And that's the reading that I have for you guys. Hope you enjoy. Bye. What's up, all my beautiful Geminis? Happy birthday. It's your season. Make sure you like this video up. It helps me so much. Like, honestly, thank you so much. But let's get right into your reading. So the word that I'm hearing for you guys and what I'm seeing for you guys, I just saw a balloon, and it's like going upwards and upwards and upwards and upwards and upwards, and it's just traveling. It doesn't know where it's going, but it's gonna go somewhere because it was a celebration. I know, I don't know, I'm confusing, but let me see if I can translate it. First things first, what I'm getting from that is I feel like there's something that needs to be released in June, and you know, balloons, they're usually about celebration. So maybe it's something that you originally thought was going to be a good thing, but then it ends up being a bad thing. That could translate into business endeavors, that can translate into relationships. But something where you thought was, you know, something that you was going to celebrate, you're going to realize it's something you need to let go of, and you need to let it go because on to bigger and better things. And for this, you want to use your intuition because, you know, we have the High Priestess energy for you guys during the month of June. So definitely tap into your intuition at this time. Tap into your inner knowing at this time. And you know, it's going to be all about you, really, because, you know, we've had your energy so present for a while. Okay, we have Venus in retrograde in Gemini. The Sun is in Gemini. Okay, Mercury just went into Cancer. You guys have been the stars of the show. There's been a lot of Gemini energy, and in the month of June, we're finally going to start like swifting into different energies, but that's not going to take the spotlight away from you because the Sun is in Gemini in your first house, baby girl, baby boy. So with the Sun in the first house, the energy is all about you. The Sun is shining its light on you, your identity, your looks, your appearance, your goals in life. Who you are is going to be available for the world to see. So I feel like you guys are going to be focused on yourself at this time and focused on making changes in your life and to confront things that need to be confronted in terms of yourself. There's no running away, okay, in June. It's all on you. Eyes all on you. This is going to be the opportune time to put yourself out there, to start projects and to promote those projects and put yourself out there, to get involved into just like anything where you're center stage. It's the perfect time to do anything that you've been scared of doing. This is the time to do it and just go for it. Yeah, and then I'm definitely getting that because I pulled the Fool for you guys. The Fool is all about like just, yeah, I'm just gonna go do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go on this new adventure. I'm not exactly sure how it's gonna work out, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna take a risk. And I feel like that's exactly what you guys should do during the month of June. You guys should take a risk and you guys should go for it because I do actually feel that you guys are going to be able to manifest things in the month of June. It just might not always come exactly how you expect it, especially during all these retrogrades. We have Mercury in Cancer now. With Mercury in Cancer, that means everything is going to be in the second house for you guys, especially in the beginning of the month. So your mind is going to be really, really focused on making that money. Okay, your mind is going to be really focused on making that money, improving your financial situation, and there could be opportunities to actually make money because that's where your brain going to be. So that's what you're going to be focused on at the end of the day. But that also, with that being said, we do have a Mercury retrograde coming up. And I would just say, in terms of that, basically be careful when it comes to doing things that, when it comes to your money dealings and your money situation, especially towards the end of the month, be careful, you know, because Mercury retrograde has a funny way of letting things kind of go wild during this time of, you know, where the house is for you guys. So definitely be careful when it comes to your money dealings, your money situations. You don't spend enough money, you don't overdo it when it comes to money and stuff like that. You want to keep that all nice. Luckily, we have Venus going direct. That could actually have a good positive effect on that. You know what I'm saying? We want to make sure that we know our worth. Mercury retrograde also does represent like reflection and introspection. So we could be feeling more like introspective about our worth and our self-worth, our values, what we find valuable, material possessions, money, and we're going to be thinking and reflecting on our beliefs about money and like how we can make more money and coming up with new ideas to do that at this time. Could definitely be possible. And I mean, I do see like potential success for you guys in your career, manifestation success. Okay, because we have the Magician card and we do have Mars and Pisces in your 10th house. I feel like some of you guys are going to be really focused on like your career, your public image, and there could also be conflicts when it comes to your career and public image, like maybe with your boss or with your career or just like issues there. So, you know, it depends on how you're channeling this energy. I would suggest try to channel it into the direction of being like focused, like working towards your career, working towards your public image, and really giving it your all so you can like really see some benefits. With the Magician, you have everything you need to succeed. So definitely set some seeds to manifest. Obviously, this is going to be a really transformational month because we have like 2 lunar eclipses happening, and eclipse energy is known for bringing those like drastic changes in our lives. So yeah, there could definitely be some things happening, especially in terms of our relationships. Okay, you guys, you know, the sun is in your 1st house, but that lunar eclipse is going to be happening in your 7th house of partnerships. So if any of y'all are in some partnerships that you're not supposed to be in, this is the time where you're going to find out that person is cheating, or you got to move to like the other country and you know you can't do the relationship anymore, long distance, like something's going to happen that's going to really test your relationship, and the ones that are strong are going to survive it, and the ones that are not strong, they're going to leave, and they needed to be done, because honestly this is your time to shine and you need to focus on yourself right now. Changes when it comes to our partnerships, our relationships, our business partnerships, and just other people are going to be apparent, especially around June 5th. So if things get unbalanced and imbalanced when it comes to our partnerships around June 5th, just know that anything that happens, it's happening so that you can ascend. It's happening so that you can evolve as a being in this life, and it was divine. So I know stuff could be a little topsy-turvy, but at the end of the day, it's happening for a reason, okay? Change needs to happen. This is the month of change. And when we're in Gemini season, being adaptable and being like flexible, because there's going to be lots of swift changes happening. People are going to be feeling more active, talking more, communicating more. A lot of things happening really, really fast. June is going to be really intense, but it's also going to go by really fast because that's what Gemini energy does. So like I said, you want to try your best to remain present, to meditate, to stay focused, to stay calm during this time, and just know that changes might occur. And this card wants to come out so bad. We have the 8 of Cups. So walking away from things that no longer serve us, finding things that actually have a deep meaning to us, especially if we've been in like shallow situations that are not actually like benefiting us in our life, let them go, leave them alone. They don't need to be there. Whether that's a job, a person, a relationship, a friend, whatever the case is, walk away if you need to walk away, sis, okay? And like I said, you guys are the superstars for this month. Use this effectively. If you know that you have a talent, put it out there at this time. If you want to drop a project, drop the project at the beginning of this month. If you know that you've been acting really shy, This is not the time. The energy is all on you, so utilize it. Put yourself out there. Sun has everything to do with where we're famous, where we could find fame, and what we can be known for. Okay, how people can view us. So you guys can be known at this point. So put yourself out there and go for it and stay focused. And throughout all the emotional mishaps, just know that it's here to push you towards ascension. But that's what I got for you guys. Like this video up, and yes, see you guys later. What's up, my Cancers? How you guys doing? How you guys feeling? Get excited. This is your reading for June 2020. This is what you guys got going on. This is what you guys can expect. And definitely like this video up because it helps me so much. Check me out on Instagram as well at itsbabyj and at Jalen. You know, all the links in the description box. But let's dive into it. So the word that I heard for you guys when I was meditating on your energy was earth. And I think that earthing yourself is going to be really beneficial for you guys June 2020, because for June 2020 there's going to be a lot of changes happening, a lot of changes, a lot of movement, a lot of shift. Okay, this is shift season because that's what eclipses are all about. With this being said, you have your energy, the sun, the main planet we want to look at first. Sun is going to be in your 12th house. So with the sun being in the 12th house for you guys, this is really going to be a preparation month, especially towards the beginning and middle of the month. This is about going within. This is about getting back in tune with nature. This is about our spirituality. This is about our subconscious mind. This is about reflection, introspection, and isolation. And because of this, we're going to be preparing for that new beginning and that crazy new beginning that's coming for you guys in the end of the month, especially on the 21st, when we have a solar eclipse in Cancer, so in your first house. And if your birthday happens to be like on the 21st and the 22nd, dude, you are about to like have a roller coaster in your life happening for the next 6 months. But just for Cancers in general, this is going to be exciting, new beginnings, new changes, and just know that after this month you will be going through some changes that are going to align you on your path. But first, you got to go within. First, you got to meditate. First, you got to be with yourself and your energy. You have to be isolated because it's really getting in tune with yourself on that deep level so that you can heal things that need to be healed, let things go that need to be let go of, let emotions come up that need to be felt, because you guys got to listen to yourself right now. And we have to have that time to reflect on our lives so that we can really be more clear about where we're going. So sometimes we got to go in that 12th house of confusion, of like, you know, we don't really know what's happening. And you know what? For some people out there, I also think that there could be some traveling happening. Like, despite everything, I think there also could be some traveling happen. Far countries, far distant places. Okay, because we have Mars in Pisces. So Mars is like the things that we put a lot of energy in. And we have Mars in Pisces. So Pisces is already about like far, long distance places. And then the 9th house is about long distance travel. And then you have your sun in the 12th. So I think that some of you guys are actually going to travel during this time and actually have to go far and have to, you know, travel far or whatever the case is. Or maybe even it can manifest as having conflicts in your belief system or arguing over beliefs. Whatever the case is, I think in general though, this is going to be a really peaceful month, a month where, you know, you have to spend more time with yourself and more time by yourself. You might be, you know, not want to go out as much or not want to talk to people as much and just kind of like spend more time in your own space so that you can truly heal. We have Mercury in the first house for you guys. So your conscious mind is still going to be really nice and active. You are going to be perfectly aligned with your feelings. You're going to be able to communicate how you feel at this time. So with that being said, you could use this for a lot of different things. Whether you make a YouTube video and you express your emotions on a topic to the world, that could be beneficial. Or maybe you could write out how you feel, and this is going to be the perfect time to communicate your feelings and emotions if you've been waiting to have that conversation. This could be the perfect time to write a story or a poem that really depicts that emotional intensity and like to really make people feel things, you know? Your words can really be impactful and powerful. But however, we do have Mercury going retrograde towards the end of the month, you know, around the 16th, I believe. So definitely, with that being said, you could have some issues regarding like your thoughts at this time. There could be some conflicts, some issues happening when Mercury's in the first house going retrograde. Okay, you could say things that you don't necessarily mean. There could be issues with partnerships and relationships. There could be issues pertaining to how we view ourselves. And maybe for some people, we're just going to be reflecting upon ourselves more. We're going to be thinking about life more and ourselves, where we're going in life, the direction we're going in life. Are we satisfied? Do we like it here? You know what I'm saying? Do we want to stay here? That's going to be the type of vibe. I think I'm going to make a video about Mercury retrograde to go deeper, but definitely with it being in your first house, you're really thinking a lot about yourself, you know, especially towards the end of the month. You know, with the lunar eclipses are known for bringing like dramatic changes. We are all about the theatrics, okay? Lunar eclipses, that's happening in your sixth house. Sixth house is everything to do with work, our routines, our daily environment, like, you know, anything that we're doing on a daily basis. It has to do with health and stuff like that. This is gonna be where you're gonna see a drastic change in your life, you know. Like, also sixth house does have to do with animals, small animals too, so that could be a thing. But for the most part, you know, this has something to do with work. I can see this manifesting as like a drastic change happening in your work. If you have, and usually with the lunar eclipses, since this is our emotions, you feel it coming. You kind of know intuitively what needs to change and what might be knocked off balance at this time, because that's usually what happens during lunar eclipses. But expect things to come to a head. So if there's any underlying things that have been happening, it's gonna come out around June 5th. And it's coming out so that you can evolve and let things go. If you're not at the right job, this is when you're gonna see it. You know what I'm saying? This is when you start understanding what job you're actually supposed to be doing, what you really are supposed to be doing with work. Changes in the state of your health. Do you feel healthy mentally, emotionally, physically? Some of you guys are gonna be like, you know what, I wanna go vegan. Like, it's just a lot of things that could happen, sixth house things. But then the most exciting thing, I think, is that solar eclipse, because that solar eclipse is happening in your first house. Solar eclipse happening in your first house, wow, powerful, extremely powerful. Guys, you guys are changing. Something about you could change. Like, literally your physical appearance could change, or you might alter something on your body, or your personality, or just whatever. Something about you, your individuality, your life, and your goals is going to completely change, and you're going towards a whole new direction. The word at the end of the month for you guys is new beginnings. So definitely at the beginning of the month, you're preparing, and then you're stepping into your season with a bomb, like with a blast, okay, with a solar eclipse in your sign. So yeah, like, it's happening. In Cancer season, something is really going to pop off for you guys, and you guys are going to be out there changing, going through all types of new beginnings. So, you know, they're all divine. They were all fated to happen. This is all fated events, right? So I say live it up and just embrace the change. You know, the most of the time when we are going through changes, we see negative things happening when we're trying to cling so hard onto the past. But if you kind of embrace the change, it goes by easier. But like I said before, you know, we're stepping into Cancer season. Happy almost birthday. Happy birthday for y'all that have about to have the birthdays and everything like that. But some of the tarot cards I pulled kind of reflect that. We have the Five of Wands. Emotions, people kind of just, stuff is just happening, you know. There's a lot of changes, swift changes with the Page of Swords. Okay, people might be talking. Gossip could be a thing at this time too. Internet gossip. And you're kind of just reflecting on where you want to go in life, the direction in life that you want to go with Two of Wands. And, you know, we also have the Six of Swords happening, moving away from life's challenges, okay? And then lastly, we have the Wheel of Fortune. I want to talk about this card because through life we have like ups and downs. And I feel like the Wheel of Fortune is really going to reflect that for you. Some of you guys could have some amazing opportunities coming towards you, and some of you guys could just need to let things go and might have some endings coming. But just know that in general, life is a bunch of cycles. This is a cycle that we're entering in. This is a cycle that you are entering in. Nothing is temporary. There's always ups and downs. So whether you're going up, whether you're going down, just know it always goes back. It always come back around. You feel me? But yeah, Remember to focus on balance. Remember with this Libra energy to focus on balance and understand that your mind is going to be very, very active and very sharp at this time. And with the 9th house being here too, remember to expand your mind and your horizons. Don't get too stuck, okay, on what's in front of you. Think about the big picture. And yeah, that's what I got for you guys for the month of June 2020. Make sure you like the video up, and yeah, holla at your girl. Bye. What's up, my Leos? What's up, my Lions? Like this video up because this is your reading. It helps me out so much, but let's dive right into it. So June, y'all, oh my gosh, June. Whew, this June is gonna have a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings, a lot of powerful changes, a lot of powerful, like, swift things happening. It's Gemini season. Stuff moves so quickly during Gemini season, so it's gonna be a lot of powerful changes, but they're gonna be happening like really quickly, and it's really gonna ask us to be adaptable and flexible, and just kind of like the ability to go with the flow is gonna be really, really good at this time, and really positive and beneficial for you and your energy and your sanity. So definitely go with the flow and be as present as you possibly can to the physical moment. The word that I heard for you guys is sanctuary. And with that being said, I think sanctuary, I think my home is my sanctuary. That's what I think of when I hear that word. So definitely, I feel like this is going to be a time where, surprisingly, I think a lot of you are going to actually be more at home, not too like out there in the open. I feel like you guys are going to be more like focused on yourself and really reflecting upon your life and your energy, your mind, your spirit, your spirituality, your dreams, your intuition. I really think you guys are going to be like in sanctum, like in sanctuary, or some of y'all are going to be like wanting sanctuary and craving sanctuary, so you have to like create that for yourself. And I think that you guys are learning how to do that for yourself in the month of June, how to make your life feel like a sanctuary and feeling safe and at peace wherever you are in the world. But when we get to the astrology, we have Sun being focused on your 11th house. Wherever the Sun is for you guys are gonna feel it the most because that is your planet. So with Sun in the 11th house, surprisingly, you know, the 11th house has everything to do with our friends, our groups of people, you know, the collective, humanitarianism, issues and stuff like that. I feel like a lot of you guys, with the Sun being your 11th and Mercury also being in your 12th house at the same time, I feel like there's going to be some conflict, and conflict between an inner conflict that exists within you, because a part of you might want to be out and about, and a lot of people might want to talk to you, or a lot of your friends might want to like communicate or like hang out, but at the same time another part of you is going to be like, I really don't want to do that right now. I just kind of want to be in my room. I want to be in my own space. I want to meditate. I want to relax. I want to deal with my own energy. So I feel like that could be like a balancing act that you're going to have to do throughout the month of June, balancing your energy and another people's energy, and knowing when to say no to people, you know, and when to stay at home and just be in your own space. With Mercury being in your 12th house, this energy is all about, you know, the subconscious mind, our spirituality, you know, our inner self, our isolation, okay? Foreign places and foreign countries. So with that energy being present here, a lot of you guys are going to be feeling more pulled to be isolated. Mentally, you don't really want to communicate. You want to like actually stay in your own space. And Mercury is actually also going retrograde as well. So this is really going to be a time for healing, deep emotional purging, and just really being in your own space. And all of these type of things could be present here. But at the same time, with the Sun being in the 11th house, there is going to be the opportunity for growth, the opportunity for career success. With the Sun being in the 11th house, we have Venus being in the 11th house, and it goes direct at the end of the month. There could be an opportunity that presents itself to have like a gain. And I told you guys in May to set an intention, to make a wish, because the 11th house has to do with our hopes, wishes, and dreams. So with that being said, you might actually see the manifestations of some of your wishes coming true during the month of June in the most unexpected ways, because that 12th house energy does not want to be controlled. It is completely boundless. You can't really understand it. It's everything that we cannot understand. But I feel like for some people out there, their spirit guides, their higher self, their energy, those beings that we can't see are like putting you in the right direction for you to succeed in some type of way and bringing you one of your wishes. I think some of y'all wishes could come true. But overall, I mean, with the cards I pulled, we have the Hermit card energy, we have the Four of Cups energy, we have the Six of Swords energy. These cards all have to deal with like being on our own, like being on our own. The Hermit is on his own. He's not lonely, but he's really focused on himself and improving upon his life and working on himself, you know. And then this energy is also about being a little isolated, focusing on our own issues. And then the Six of Swords energy is about moving forward, going away from trouble, okay, moving towards calmer waters. So like I said, I feel like that's how you're going to be feeling in the month of June. You're really going to be focused on moving towards bigger and better things. And then, I mean, obviously we do have a lunar eclipse happening for you guys, and that's going to be happening in your 5th house, the 5th house of romance, the 5th house of creativity, the 5th house of children, okay, the 5th house of entertainment and fun. So this is interesting. That's interesting energy, with the lunar eclipse representing change and like things just happening suddenly. Things, I think that has everything to do with our relationships. Okay, things could happen in relationships, tower moments could happen in relationships where it's like things suddenly crumble, or things suddenly just like something happened where it crumbled the whole relationship, and the next thing you know, you just meet someone else and that's your soulmate. Like, this is the type of energy we're dealing with that. Like I said, expect many transformations, many changes. And like I say, with the solar eclipse also happening in your 12th house, a lot of changes having to do with your subconscious mind, your energy, your intuition, your psychic abilities, like, you know, especially with Mars also being in the 8th at the same time, like definitely. And also that does indicate some like sex drive and some sexual energy being present here as well, with 12th house also being the house of bed pleasure. So it's going to be a really interesting month. And you know, we pulled the 11th house. We do have the sun in the 11th house, you know, literally the sun and the 11th house energy. So you guys do have the opportunity to shine. You guys can be center stage. You guys can put yourself out there and still be active, but I feel like most of y'all are going to be feeling more like called to pull in, especially towards the end of the month when we start going into Cancer season. You might be feeling more emotional than usual, a little bit more reclusive, because you're going to start like preparing for your season. So it's almost your time to shine during Leo season, but first we gotta go through Cancer season, you feel me? And then also we have Venus energy, and the lunar eclipse is happening in your 5th house, you know, and that has everything to do with romance. Venus energy is also having to do with romance as well. So there could be like something happening in your the romance department for you guys, or even your creativity and your sense of like creativity and stuff like that. But just expect drastic changes happening all along. And I feel like after this month, you guys are really going to be in tune with yourself on a very deep level, on a very deep spiritual level, really in tune with like your higher wisdom, and you're just everything, right? I feel like you guys are gonna just be very, very intuitive at this time, and I feel like that's gonna be the biggest blessing. And also, one wish that you manifested previously could actually come true at this time as well. All in all, make sure you spend your time preparing, focusing on yourself, evolving. That's always good at this time. So yeah, enjoy yourselves. That's your reading. Like this video up, and hope you enjoyed. Bye. Okay, Virgos, welcome. This is your reading for June 2020. Like this video up so we can get that good engagement. Okay, YouTube algorithm say what? But let's get right into it. So the word that I heard for you guys in regards to your June 2020, seesaw, up, down, lots of ups and lots of downs. I think that there's going to be moments in this month that are really going to surprise you. Really random things could happen. And, you know, it makes sense, especially with, you know, all the lunar eclipses and the solar eclipses and changes. It's eclipse season. That always brings massive changes and massive shifts, a lot of energy, a lot of culmination, a lot of things getting like all the way up to here. Like, you know, we usually up here, and now we're gonna be all the way up here. You know, people and things are reaching their breaking point at this time. Definitely seesaw, a lot of different energies. You know, I see the Fool energy here. This is all about new beginnings, but at the same time I also see this 9 of Swords energy of like anxiety, worrying so much and being really focused on a lot of different things and just worrying you can't sleep at night. But then also at the same time we have 9 of Cups energy, which is like being like content, your wish is fulfilled, wish granted, you feel good, you feel content. So you know, energy and emotions all over the place. But let's jump into it. Sun in the 10th house. You guys have your sun in the 10th house during the month of June. Sun in the 10th house, we're really thinking about our career. We're thinking about our accomplishments, our fame, what we're known for, our reputation. And that's the energy you guys are going to be focused on during the month of June. Who am I to the world? My job, my career, what I want to be known for, and what I want to put, the stuff that I want to put out there, the fame, opportunities for success and fame could actually present themselves at this time, believe it or not. And these are the type of things where it's like huge swifts could actually put you in the direction you're actually supposed to be in. We have that lunar eclipse in your 4th house while the sun is in the 10th house, so there is some opposition there because that's Cancer and Capricorn, and those are directly opposite. So we had this like career or home, family or work, like type of thing going on that could happen at this time. But something at this time with lunar eclipse in your 4th house, you know, something is coming into fruition in terms of your home, your family, your house, and stuff like that. Big shifts. You know, that lunar eclipse always brings drastic changes. So a huge shift is coming in terms of your home, your family, your house, where you live, where you're from, your hometown, things that give you a sense of security, the things that make you feel safe and nurtured. Expect some changes in those areas of your life with the lunar eclipse there. This has everything to do with this axis between our friends or home. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's that type of vibe going on. I think the theme for you guys is balancing out your work life and your private life. I think I see some major accomplishments happening in your work life, and then some like issues happening in your family life or vice versa. So you definitely want to make sure that's balanced out at this time. And like your friends or home, you know what I'm saying? That type of thing. Mercury is going retrograde in the middle of the month, so that's something to definitely keep an eye on. You know, making sure there's no like miscommunications regarding your friends. So like you're getting in an argument with somebody because you guys miscommunicated, you know, something was misunderstood, the message didn't go through, something that you really wanted manifested in a weird way, you know, thinking issues regarding your friendships and stuff like that. And just yeah, but you know, you have a lot of Aquarius energy being present here. And the cards that I pulled for you, I have Uranus and Aquarius and Mercury and the moon. So like your emotions, your feelings, sudden breakthroughs. And I feel like some of you guys are even going to be detached. You might feel a little bit emotionally detached at this time. You're really going to be focused on something else, and something else is going to feel like, dang, why are you not focusing on me? I feel like it's that type of energy, honestly. But with the solar eclipse though happening at the end of the month on the 21st, this solar eclipse is happening in your 11th house of friends. So that's probably why I pulled that Uranus Aquarian like energy. So yeah, definitely something could manifest itself. A new friend, new friends, a new group, a new group association. You know, you might be the leader of a group by the end of the month, or like just like something involving groups of people. Humanitarianism or your hopes, wishes, and dreams could manifest very drastically, you know, and like really quickly and fast by the end of the month around that solar eclipse in your 11th house, because it's everything to do with new beginnings and new starts. So yeah, I expect a lot of changes. And also with Mars being in your 7th house, you want to make sure that you're not getting into any arguments, especially when it comes to our relationships. If we're in a relationship, our lovers and stuff like that, that can also be present at this time if you're not careful. If you want to get some more information on Venus, make sure you check out my Venus retrograde video, since Venus is going to be still in retrograde for the majority of the month of June. With the Queen of Wands energy that I pulled, make sure that we are putting ourselves out there and we are like shining our light, because at the same time this could be a time for you guys to actually succeed in the front lines, you know what I'm saying? Especially with the sun being in your 10th house of career. I mean, still, if it was fated for you to have career success at this time, it's gonna happen. So no matter what is happening, you feel me? So definitely still put yourself out there to see some benefits, but just know that there could be some ups and downs and some seesawing, balancing act energy that you had to kind of, you know, deal with at the same time. But overall, you're gonna be good, you're gonna be all right. That was your reading, Virgos. I hope you enjoyed. Like this video up, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Okay, what's up, my beautiful Libras? This is your June 2020 reading. Like this video up so we can get that engagement on point, because that helps you girl out so much. But yeah, let's get right into it. Here's your reading. So when I first meditated on your energy, I heard the word boom, 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 this baby about to pop. Something's about to pop, something about to pop off, and that's on period. And I feel like that's a good and a bad thing, because you know, this month is going to have a lot of changes, a lot of new beginnings, a lot of endings, because it is eclipse season. So with eclipse seasons, we have massive shifts. The eclipse right before January 12th, which started like this whole phase and quarantine thing that we got into. So you see the impact of eclipse, right? And we enter into eclipse season all over again. So you guys have the sun in your 9th house for the majority of June, and then moving into the 10th house by the end of June. So first things first, when I was pulling cards on you guys, we have career energy and career success. Career failure is written all over this month. Like, this is the point where some of you guys are going to pop off. You're going to get that promotion, you're going to get that new job, you're going to get that viral video, you're going to be more out there in the public eye and stuff of that nature. And some of you guys are going to fall off, and depending on if you are at the right place in life, this is going to like determine everything. But with your sun being in the 9th house at the beginning of this month, it's all about expansion, all types of expansion. It's about our belief system. It's about reflecting upon all the things that Venus retrograde has been trying to teach us in regards to our belief system, in regards to travel and long distance places and foreign people and foreign countries. You're going to be really focused on those things at this time. This could be a time where some of you guys travel far. This could be a time where some of you guys are learning new things, learning new perspectives, and diving deeper into your belief system and figuring out, who is this? What does this life mean? What is God? Philosophy. That's what your mind is going to be focused on. You guys are really going to be focused on thinking about your belief systems. What do I believe in? What do I find to be true? What is the big picture? That's what the 9th house is all about. So you guys can be really reflective and meditative at this time. But like I said, towards the end of the month, you guys are really moving in towards this career energy and putting yourself out there. And you can see career success and opportunity towards the end of the month and starting off during Cancer season. But definitely making sure that we are reflecting and not, you know, moving too fast. Because yeah, we have Venus retrograde finally ending on the 25th, but then we have Mercury retrograde starting on the 16th. And when Mercury goes in retrograde, you know, things tend to go a little haywire. You know what I'm saying? Things tend to go a little haywire. We start having to learn certain lessons that we didn't learn before, and that's just the case. And that's just what the case is. That's how the cookie crumbles. And Mercury is going to be in your 10th house. So we're going to have a Mercury retrograde in your 10th house of career, success, reputation. So y'all, you want to make sure you don't get in fights with your bosses, with your dads, or you want to make sure you're not getting, you know, having any issues in terms of your career, like no scandals, no miscommunications with the public and stuff like that, because that definitely could be a possibility towards the end of the month or the middle of the month when Mercury does go into retrograde. But I'll make a whole video about what you can expect with Mercury retrograde energy. But in general, you want to make sure that we're not like doing any miscommunication and that we're really seeing things clearly. We're not signing contracts that don't need to be signed. And this is also going to be happening in our career, our public image, and our like public self. You know what I'm saying? So if you're an influencer, definitely make sure you're not saying things that you are going to regret on the internet. Lunar eclipses are known for bringing like drastic change and like, you know, some really huge changes and swifts in our life. This is happening in the 3rd house of communication, of our short distance travel. So like going to Walmart, going to the store, going to another friend's house, that type of travel. Also just like media, data, learning, skills, our siblings, and you know, those type of people. That's what the 3rd house represents. So with a lunar eclipse coming there could be drastic changes and huge shifts in those areas of your life. I could even see this manifesting as somebody literally like having to move houses, or something happening with your siblings that's like, whoa, what just happened? Or like when it comes to your mental energy and your thought process in general, especially when we have this axis between the 9th house and the 3rd house energy. So it's like something happening when it comes to the way that you think, and you reflecting upon the way that you think, and it just changes completely. Like you have a whole complete new perspective after this point. And then with the solar eclipse at the end of the month towards the 21st happening in your 10th house, that is going to be extremely powerful. Some of you guys are going to be like catapulted into career success, and some of you guys are going to have some career issues. Somebody could go viral. Someone could literally get that new job and become the boss. Somebody could like develop this company and then become the CEO. Like, this is energy that could really catapult you to somewhere big and enormous. So like I said, that solar eclipse is going to be really powerful around the 21st, and you'll probably get hints to what that change is going to consist of around that time as well. So yeah, y'all, you know what I'm saying, lots of changes, lots of things happening, but you know, keep your head in the game here, and remember, like, to avoid conflicts as much as possible. And I know y'all do that because y'all are Libras, y'all don't like conflicts. The only warning I have for you guys, Mars in the 6th house, with Virgo energy popping up, you do have Mars and Pisces in the 6th house. So I would also recommend, like, with the 6th house representing our daily routines and our daily habits, you might, and Mars currently being in Pisces, you might want to put your energy into a meditative practice or a spiritual practice at this time to remain balanced, because you know that's what Mars and Pisces energy is all about. It's all about spirituality. It's all about, you know, creativity and fantasy and all these beautiful Pisces like things. And with Mars being there, you want to put a lot of energy into it. And then with the 6th house being there, that is your daily routines, that is your daily habits. It might benefit you to have a daily meditative routine or something to do with that to actually help you balance out things, because we do have the 12th house energy present here, as well as Chiron energy, which are deeply associated with healing. So yeah, you might be successful and you might have opportunities here to be successful at this time, but also we wanna make sure that we're taking care of our inner self and our subconscious mind while we're going through all these changes. The only other warning I have for you guys is the 7 of Swords, which is all about deceit. So make sure nobody's out here lying to you, and that you're seeing things clearly in terms of your career, especially, and your relationships with this Lovers card that I pulled. So yeah, but that's what I have for you guys. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. What's up, my beautiful Sagittarius? This is your reading, and it's crazy. As soon as I got to your reading, it's literally about to storm. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell, but the camera is like a little darker and stuff because it is literally about to storm. And I think that is a beautiful representation of what is going to happen for you guys in June 2020. And don't be scared of storms, because if you know anything about like African spirituality, I think of like storms as like Oya energy. And Oya energy, Oya goddess energy, is all about movement, change, and swift changing. It's the storm that comes in, crushes everything that needs to be crushed, and moves things out the way so that you can finally rise from this new place and you can start building from a newer foundation. And I think that is a beautiful message for you guys for June 2020. We are going to have some interesting energy here between yourself. The energy is going to be focused on yourself and definitely relationships. We've been in this relationship-oriented energy. We've probably been thinking more about relationships. We probably have new people that have come into our life, or they're about to come into your life. We probably like met a new best friend, or we've been focused on other people for more than usual, you know? A lot of us could be like, dang, I wish I was in love right now. Or maybe you are in love, or maybe you are in a relationship. That's been the focus, and that's going to continue being the focus, you know, as Venus does go direct, and you know, we still have that Sun in Gemini, which is in our 7th house, our opposite, right? I say R because I'm a Sag rising. The Sun being in the 7th house, this is going to mirror everything. Like, yourself is going to be mirrored in people. You're going to see things and habits that you have in other people. You're going to be really focused on other people at this time. Relationships, new relationships can start, committed relationships. You could meet the person that you might be committed to at a later date at this time, especially because Venus isn't going to go direct until the 25th, but you could still meet this new person that you could be involved with. Or if you're already in a relationship, this is a time where you're going to be really focused on that relationship. Or this could just be a time where you're focused on like clients, like maybe you have a lot of new clients coming into your life, or business partners, and just working with other people could be a factor for you at this time of interesting energy. We have Mercury going into your 8th house. So when Mercury goes into the 8th house, our conscious mind is going to be really focused on 8th house activities. So that is transformation, that is the occult, that's magic, that's astrology, that's conspiracy theories, and getting to the bottom of things, right? Because Mercury is our logical mind, and the 8th house is digging deep. So I see a lot of us are going to be really focused on digging deep and researching things and studying things, reading things that it could be taboo, that could be occult, that could be magical, that could be all about like stuff that people usually don't want to talk about, or just like really getting deeper in your spiritual practice. I could definitely see that manifesting at this time. And also this is going to be a transformational experience too, because 8th house is transformation. And with this energy being present here, Mercury is going retrograde on the 16th of June. So when Mercury goes retrograde, we're going to be rethinking, reevaluating, and then we could run into issues with the 8th house matters. So that's death, transformation, and rebirth, okay? Where we could run into issues where like signing contracts, resources, taxes, those could obviously be a thing, but it could also just be like deep, intense partnerships and relationships need some relooking. We got to make sure we're pausing and we're not doing too much. I can just see you guys really focusing and reflecting on the 8th house at this time. So you guys are really going to be focusing and reflecting on your sexuality, your sexual expression, the taboo things in life that nobody really wants to talk about. Somebody call this phone one more time. That could also be a message. There could be messages coming towards you at this time. You know, there could be messages deep. Definitely was a confirmation. I think you guys are gonna get some messages coming towards you. Definitely deep transformations. I definitely think that was a confirmation. You guys are gonna be receiving some messages that are really gonna be impactful for you guys during the month of June. But you know, honestly, I'm getting this weird message, and I see this weird message. I think there could be some competition, because first things first. First card I pulled, I have Death card, the Death card, and that obviously is a thing, especially when we have Mercury in the 8th house of death, solar eclipse that is going to be happening in our 8th house. This is not literal death. I mean, it could be, but most of the time it's just like, it just represents something ending in our lives so something new can begin. It's a transition, it's a transformation. So like I said, something is going to end in your life, and it's going to be ending for the good so you can transform and you can ascend in your life. And however, I also pulled these 6 of Wands. So I feel like a lot of you guys are going to be successful at this time. A lot of you guys are going to be having opportunities to have victory. And there's going to be this thing of like victory. I think that some of you, believe it or not, I think that some of you are going to be dealing with enemies. The 7th house can represent open enemies or just enemies in general. So I feel like some of you guys are going to be dealing with enemies, but you will actually win. You're going to defeat your enemies. You guys are going to defeat your enemies, because we have, look, 5 of Swords energy here, which is literally all about like conflict and winning and fighting to the death, and 6 of Wands energy, which is all about victory, right? So I think that there could be some like battles between, you know, an enemy or like a conflict of interest, whatever the case is, but you know, you are going to come out victorious because of it. And even this Aries energy, and we have the competitor. Yeah, definitely some competition happening, you know, could definitely transpire at this time between you and another person. This could also represent energy of you becoming closer and coming closer to another person as well through this. But definitely I feel like you guys are going to be more prone and more equipped at speaking your mind and speaking your truth, especially in regards to other people and like your friendships and your relationships. You're really going to feel like being honest about where you're coming from and what you believe in, whatever the case is. You know, you're not going to hold anything back at this time. Mars in the 4th house, we're going to definitely make sure that we are not, you know, getting in arguments with our family members. Here's the thing. We have a lunar eclipse happening in Sagittarius. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. We have a lunar eclipse happening in the 1st house. So when a lunar eclipse happens in your 1st house, there's going to be drastic changes, and these drastic changes are going to be affecting you, because the 1st house has everything to do with our identity, our appearance, our body, our goals in life, the direction that we want to go, the stuff that we want to take on. It's like, so when we have a lunar eclipse here, there's going to be some conflicts having to do with ourself. Maybe there's going to be changes. Some of you guys might even going to be called to like change your appearance, change your identity, change what you identify with. Some of y'all could be like, you know what, I don't want this name anymore, I'm going to change it. Or like a username change, or like something even more drastic, like I don't even want to do this anymore with this relationship, I'm done, you know, because this has I need to do certain things in my life, so I gotta let this go. Like there's a lot of changes having to do with our identity and our sense of self and our goals and where we're headed in life. So yeah, this is going to be a very impactful time, especially at the beginning of month June 5th. You know, expect a major change and a major redirection in your life. And I guess I also see you guys receiving ideas that are really gonna like help you out. And then at the end of the month, you're having a solar eclipse in your 8th house. That is intense transformation. So yeah, guys, like it's gonna be a really crazy time, and it's a really transformational time. And it's with that lunar eclipse inside, this is like your energy being front and center in the beginning. So it's like, woo, that energy is all about freedom. I wouldn't be surprised if some stuff pops off or whatever the case is, but you're going to be tested this month. And I feel like after this month, you're going to see how good you are and how well you've been doing, or where you need to actually do more, right? And I think that's going to be apparent during the month of June. But yeah, that's what I got for y'all, my Saggy Poos. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see y'all next time. What's up, my Capricorns? This is your June 2020 reading. Let's dive right into it. Like this video up, support your girl. But let's get into it. So June 2020 is going to be very hectic. It's going to be really crazy. A lot of changes, a lot of shifts, a lot of things happening that are going to alter our lives for the better. And you'll see these effects for the next 6 months. So it's going to be really impactful. Remember this month, guys, because this is going to be the month of change. So let's dive right into it. When I was meditating on your energy, I heard the word regret. So I think you guys are going to be reflecting upon your regrets at this time. And I feel like if you've regretted anything, I feel like this is going to be a time where you're going to be thinking about that and going back and fixing that. I think you're going to be healing those things that you regret doing, or like the regrets that you've had in life in general. And I feel like you're going to try to like bring perfection to those things, especially with Sun being in your 6th house. The 6th house itself is all about work. It's all about our daily routines. It's all about structure and organization, and like it's Virgo energy, right? So it's earth energy. You guys are kind of familiar with it. So with Sun being in the 6th, I feel like this is the month where you really do get your routine in order. You're going to be really focused on your health at this time. Are you feeling healthy? Are you eating the right things? Is your body feeling good? Or do you feel sick? Do you feel ill? If you have been taking care of yourself, you're going to be feeling good. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be actually improving upon this routine even more and making it more efficient. But if you haven't, this could be the time where you get sick, or you feel like more sensitive than usual, or you just feel ill, or like you just don't feel like yourself. But you're gonna be really focused on this idea of like perfection and perfecting your life for better or for worse. And you know, we do have Mercury going into Cancer, and that's going in your 7th house. So honestly, I feel like you guys are going to be feeling a little bit more relationship oriented than usual. Maybe new relationships could come into this life, or maybe new commitments, new partnerships could enter, business partnerships. Working with other people is definitely going to be a factor here for a very long time, because yeah, you guys are going to be focused on like partnerships, relationships, and working with other people. But at the same time, Mercury is going retrograde on the 16th, so there could also be some issues and some misunderstandings with contracts and communication and stuff regarding your partnerships, your business partnerships, and even enemies. But you know, for the most part, I'm really seeing just like relationship issues happening, or just like little misunderstandings regarding contracts and stuff like that. For some reason, I'm also feeling like there's going to be opportunities for you guys to make money, like specifically money during the month of June and beyond. I think that money is going to be something that could actually come into your life if you work efficiently enough. Like if your work routine and your daily routine is doing the damn thing, then you're going to actually see opportunities to make money, and maybe even ideas to make money. You know, especially with Mars being in your 3rd house. The 3rd house is the house of like ideas and concepts and learning and curiosity, which Gemini energy is all about, and we're in Gemini season. So I feel like there could be some new ideas, some new thoughts that could actually, you know, spark at this time that are going to help you guys out in terms of like your financial situation. Because I pulled the 2nd house energy, you know, your energy, and then look, we even got the Queen of Pentacles here. Like, you know, money is definitely something that could be had and could be made during June 2020. So take heed and listen into that. So make sure we are also listening into our emotions. And I think that's the lesson that all of us are going to learn. Are we listening to our emotions? Are we being true to ourselves? Are we doing something that is truly going to serve us on that emotional level? Are we in the right partnership and stuff like that? This is going to be apparent because we have a lunar eclipse happening in your 12th house, the house of isolation, the house of spirituality, of our subconscious mind, of our intuition, of you know, that connection that we have to all that is, the understanding that we are all of the same being, we're all made up of the same matter, there are no boundaries. So with a lunar eclipse happening here, there can definitely be some like huge changes that happen and occur. With the lunar eclipse happening in your 12th house, I mean, that energy is a little heavy. It's like there could be a spiritual awakening happening, or like some things from your subconscious could come out at this time and you could finally release it, or you could really be able to get in tune with your emotions at a deep level around June 5th. That day could just be really emotional, and a lot of stuff could come out and you don't even know where it's coming from. You could feel like crying, you don't even know why. You know what I'm saying? You could feel like yelling, you don't even know why. This is the type of energy we want to do, especially with Mars and Pisces in the 3rd house at the same time. You want to make sure that, you know, when these emotions do come up, that you are expressing them in a nice way, or in a way that you're not going to regret later, because we can go off the handle with these energies present, because Pisces energy is not meant to be understood, it's meant to be felt. Same thing with Cancer energy, and with Mercury going into Cancer, you know, these energies are meant to be felt, and they're not meant to be logically processed. Okay, you got to feel through these emotions. So definitely expect to get into with your feelings. And then ultimately by the end of the month, we have a solar eclipse in your 7th house. So dude, like, you're going in, like, there's some relationship or some partnership or like relationship oriented energy that is going to be present. You might be more focused on that, but there's going to be some type of drastic change and new beginning in your relationships at this time. So yeah, you know, at the beginning you might feel a little bit more isolated and more to yourself, but by the end, I guarantee you there's going to be someone new in your life. I wouldn't be surprised. And, you know, this is going to require a sense of balance and sharing your emotions. We have the Hermit energy at first. So like I said, being a little isolated and focusing on yourself and your own emotions. And then we have the Hierophant, which is all about making commitments and getting committed. So yeah, and moving forward with the Chariot. So definitely, I think that you might be starting off the month a little slow and like a little bit more emotional, but by the end there's like some new person or some new commitment that is going to be made that's going to definitely be beneficial for you. But that's what I'm getting for your reading, Capricorns. I hope you enjoyed. Like this video up, and yes, my Aquariuses, this is your reading. Get excited, because this is going to be a crazy road for June 2020. A lot of emotions, a lot of experiences, a lot of endings and beginnings, because it's eclipse season. And with eclipse season, we get sudden changes, we get huge shifts in society as we know it, and just in our personal lives. Everything about to change, okay? Everything is about to change. And for you guys, we definitely want to focus on the sun, because we have sun in the 5th house. Sun in the 5th house, the sun is where we shine our light. It's where the focus is going to be, where the light is going to be magnified for us in our lives. And during the month of June, the light is going to be on your 5th house of romance, of creativity, of entertainment, of your creative self-expression, of your kids, all these things. That's where the focus is going to be. And it just started raining, okay? It just started raining. That could also be a message, but you know what I'm saying? I feel like the focus is going to be on romance, on creative self-expression, on our kids. And I feel like if it's been the focus, you know, new love, new casual relationships in general could have been on your mind, because Venus has been in the 5th house for a while, and it is about to go direct on the 25th finally. But in general, I feel like we're gonna learn the last lessons of whatever Venus in the 5th was trying to teach us during this month, which is the month of June. I feel like we're gonna be thinking about romance. We're gonna be thinking about creativity and how to express ourselves. In general, I think that your focus is going to be on the 5th house things. So there could be romance, could be on your mind, okay? Your creative expression could be on your mind. You guys could be feeling more creative than usual, more romantic than usual, more kid-friendly than usual. Maybe you feel more dancey and like moving your body and just dancing and expressing yourself, because that 5th house deals with creativity. It deals with dancing, singing, acting, putting yourself out there and expressing to the world who you are, which is different because, you know, usually Aquarius energy is all about friends, it's all about the collective, but this is the opposite, where it's really all about your sense of creativity, and it's about your creativity and not like everyone else's. It's about your individuality, right? And it's about what makes you you, and you putting that out into the world. So I feel like this is something that you guys are going to be focusing on at the time of June. And then we also have Mercury in the 6th house for you guys, and the 6th house energy deals with our routine. It deals with our daily routines, our health, okay, our mental health, especially with it being in the 6th house. So really thinking about our mental health at this time could be a thing and a factor of our lives. Making sure we have good mental health could definitely be something we're focusing on. And just, you know, even our bodies and how we view our bodies and the health of our bodies and what we're putting inside of our bodies could definitely be a factor when it comes to that. But then we also have Mercury going retrograde on the 16th of the month, and when Mercury goes retrograde, you know, things could get a little topsy-turvy, get a little crazy with the 6th house. So maybe we start reflecting upon our daily routines. Maybe we start thinking about our daily routines, or maybe our daily routine is like all over the place and we cannot come up with a solid daily routine, which is not surprising for Aquarius energy that kind of likes to do whatever it wants and does whatever it wants to do. You know, it's a little bit more rebellious than everyone else. And 6th house also has to do with work. There could be issues with work or your daily routine or your employees or co-workers, whatever the case is, where you can run into issues with those kind of people with the Mercury retrograde. So make sure we're speaking effectively and communicating effectively with our co-workers, job, whatever the case is, something to do with that. There could be issues, or you guys are probably going to be more focused on making money at this time, you know, because we do have the Seven of Pentacles energy here, right? And I see this trying to think that, like, you see the Two of Pentacles energy of trying to balance two different things. So maybe you guys, I heard some of y'all gonna try to be players and try to balance two different people, and I heard other people are gonna just be trying to balance like work and romance. So like, I'm trying to be like this successful person, but I also got a bae, so I gotta make sure I'm balancing my time right type of energy. And just Mars in the 2nd house energy, you guys are going to be really driven to make some money. And there could be some conflicts and issues in terms of money being made as well. But just remember to be patient and know like there could be some disappointments. There could be some endings that happen, but they're ending because they need to end and they need to happen. And just know that the money is going to come. It might take a little bit longer than you expect, but it is going to come. But you just got to continue to stay focused. And with the lunar eclipse happening in your 11th house, definitely some changes in your friendships. Some changes in your friendships could happen. You might lose a friend, or you might no longer be friends with someone, or you might gain a new friend. Just some type of change in your friendship department, your goals, your hopes, wishes, and dreams, your older siblings, all that 11th house type of thing, that could definitely be present with a lunar eclipse, a powerful shift in your friends or in your 11th house. And then eventually ending off the month, you know, the energy is going to be moving more towards your 6th house. So you guys are going to be more focused on that daily routine by the end of the month, and more focused on your health and, you know, making sure you're healthy and stuff like that by the end of the month. And then also with the solar eclipse happening in your 5th house, man, oh man, there's some type of romance, some type of new creative thing that you're going to birth into the world, new beginning. That the word is new, right? Because that lunar eclipse represents change and like things being like really up in your face so that you can deal with them. But then the solar eclipse is all about new life directions, like completely altering your life path and purpose. So yeah, some type of new creativity, new romance, whatever the case is, that completely goes, you just go somewhere else that you completely didn't expect before. But yeah, that's what I'm getting for you guys, Aquarius. I hope that you liked that reading. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And yes. And last but not least, my Pisces. What's up, my beautiful Pisces brethren and sister? And this is your reading for June 2020. Like this video up like right now. It helps me so much. But let's get right into it. June is going to be very intense. A lot of shifts, a lot of emotions and feelings and new beginnings and endings. This is what eclipse season is all about. We're deep in heavy and retrograde season, and I know you guys are feeling a lot of different emotions already. And you know, I know we've learned a lot of different lessons, a lot of different repeating lessons, and people coming back, and a lot of things happening. But this is what 2020 is all about. It's about building. So it's like we're destroying things to build from a solid foundation again, and we got to go through the process, that death and rebirth process. But so we have this little axis between your 4th house and the 10th house going on. So this is about your home and your career life, your home life and your family life, your school versus like your feelings versus how you want to portray it out into the world. This type of theme going on here with the sun being in your 4th house. With the sun in your 4th house in general, you're going to be focused on like home. So you guys might be feeling more like home bodies during the month of June. Focus more on staying at home, being at home, beautifying your home, like just also your family. Could literally mean like family, property, home, new homes, old homes, nostalgic feelings could be a part of this with all the retrograde energy happening, nostalgia and those type of emotions and feelings, and thinking about the past and really thinking about what makes you feel safe, comfortable, and secure, and just like your childhood in general, like revisiting your childhood. And you know, you could be a little bit more sensitive at this time as well with this, you know, the 4th house energy being present here. We do have Mercury in Cancer. Mercury in Cancer energy is kind of adding to that 4th house energy overall of just being more focused on our emotions. But what are we going to be more emotional about? What are we going to be more emotional about? We're going to be more emotional and focused on the 5th house of creativity, of children, of entertainment, of, you know, our personal self-expression, how we express ourselves out into the world. So with Mercury being here, Mercury is our conscious mind. It's how we logically think about things. And Cancer is like, it's emotion, straight up emotion, and we have this in the 5th. So I definitely see this manifesting as like art, a lot of creativity, a lot of art being made for you guys during the month of June. You spending time in your space, in your home, in your house, creating really beautiful things that are emotional, that make people feel things. You expressing your emotions and how you feel out into the public, right? You're expressing yourself through art at this time, through creativity. And that's not just like classic like painting, it could be, but it's also singing, it's also dancing, it's also music and poetry and YouTube, and anytime we're creating. And you know, you might want to get into my course actually, because we talk about creativity and how we can spark that up with our sacral chakra energy, link down in the description box. But you know, stepping into our inner goddess energy, I really feel like you guys are going to be feeling more fun and expressive, and especially expressing your emotions and your feelings through creativity. And I feel like it's good. I feel like that's a great thing. We also have a Mercury retrograde on the 16th of June. So, you know, definitely there could be some issues regarding romance here. New romances, somebody could come in where you think that they're the one for you, and then you realize that they're not. And it could be a little disappointing, you know. We have this energy here, crying over spilled milk. You see the guy, he's just kind of chilling there like, dang, like I'm sad. I could even see this as an old flame coming back from the past, and then like you think it's going to be dope this time around, but it's really not. And we have the 9 of Pentacles here, Queen of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune. I feel like there's also opportunity here to actually make some money for ourselves, and if you were going to, it would have something to do with the freaking our creativity. And also the 4th house at home, spending a lot of time at home working on ourselves and our energy and our emotions. Interestingly enough though, we have Mars in the 1st house because Mars is in Pisces right now. So yeah, with Mars in Pisces, we're going to be feeling more aggressive. We're going to be feeling more like energized and more like ready to take on the day. This could also manifest itself as a lot of men coming into your life, like a lot of men being drawn towards you, a lot of men coming into your life, just overall embodying this masculine energy, because that's what Mars does represent, masculine energy. So you guys could just be feeling more like warrior like during the month of June, and just being more focused on like your spirituality and your creativity and stuff like that. I really see this as a really creative month for you guys, where you can really dive deeply into it. You see we pulled the 5th house energy and the 3rd house energy, which is the brain, right? It's how we logically view things and socializing, thoughts, communication, early education, our interests. And I feel like you guys could get more into your interests at this time, developing some new skills, new ideas could be coming towards you that could be really creative in nature. Also, obviously we have a lunar eclipse happening, and that's going to be very, very intense and something that's going to change your life, small or big, usually big. But you have a lunar eclipse happening in your 10th house, which means change coming to your career, change in your career status, change in your, like, this is the type of energy where it's like one person is like the coworker, and then they end up being the owner of the whole company. This person, it's like the person that starts from the bottom and then they get to the top very quickly, or they started at the top and they end up in the bottom. This is energy of going viral. This is energy of like having something something happen in your public life that really kind of like puts you off balance, because that's what a lunar eclipse is all about. It kind of puts things off balance and can kind of just, you got to change something when it comes to your public image, when it comes to your career, when it comes to your reputation, even, your bosses in life, your authority figures in your life. There's some type of change or conflict or just some imbalance or just change that's coming towards you. Could be good or bad, but it's coming towards you, so you want to be ready for it. You definitely want to make sure you're speaking effectively. But with all of this like pentacle energy, it might be a good change, because that does deal with like money and like material blessings and stuff like that. And then we do have a solar eclipse on the 21st in your 5th house. So new romance, new creativity, new ways of expressing yourself, a new skill you develop. Like you can have like a new talent or whatever the case is. It has the potential to alter the course of your life. Oh, also 5th house is children. Some of y'all could be getting pregnant, whatever the case is. I'm not even going to say that if you're not of age or you don't want a kid, but I'm just saying like just some event that has that capability to alter your path in life, having to do with creativity, romance. The 5th house also has to deal with like risk taking. So like maybe even like gambling and actually winning the lottery. Like these are the things that can happen with a solar eclipse in your 5th house. So definitely just be cognizant of that. But overall, I feel like this month is going to be fine. It's going to be transformative, but I feel like you guys are going to get through it. Just make sure you're not focused too much on the past, things that you did, mistakes that you made, and you're just letting them go and being present in the moment. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that reading. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.